Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Texas Outlaw Running Talk Show. We came back from the dead after like 6 months of no podcast. I don't know how long, but anyways, a lot's happened. We are now sitting in the Texas Outlaw Running office space in Longview, Texas, and we are working on the podcast studio, but right now this will work. And joining me is my beautiful wife, but also Texas Outlaw Running's admin and marketing, Carley Rains. All right, there's Carly. All right, so we are going to be doing weekly episodes just like this. They're going to be about 30 minutes long. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. It doesn't matter if you're a road runner, trail runner, first time 5Ker, or an ultra marathon runner who's been running for 100 years. It doesn't matter. This podcast is going to be for everybody, and it's made to be entertaining, informative, funny, and I'm glad y'all could join us. So, again, this is no edits. This is raw, unfiltered podcast. So that's how we're gonna do it. But with that being said, I
Today's
guess we'll
episode.
yeah we'll go and hop into it. So today's episode is called "Running Gear: A Need, Want, or a Necessary."
So basically, how this is going to work is we're going to list an item that runners typically use, and we're going to categorize them and each categorize them. Is it a need, in our opinion? Is it a want, or is it unnecessary? And we're going to explain why. And so we would also love your feedback in the comments of if you think it's a need, want, or is unnecessary, and if you agree or disagree with us. So the first item,
All right, go ahead. Oh, I say that.
yeah, you're orange
Okay, all right.
actually.
I'm orange. All right, hydration vest. Need, want, or
So
unnecessary.
explain what hydration vest is
Good.
for new
Great.
runners.
All right. Hydration vest. They're these cool looking vests that you strap around your body, and they have typically two water bottles on each side of your chest, and you can stick pockets and stuff in, or stuff in the pockets. Um,
Yeah, do you think they're a need, a want, or unnecessary?
so hydration vests, I think this is so obvious. Maybe not. It could just be me. Hydration vests are absolutely necessary for long ultra running events. If you have a running event to where the aid stations are far apart, or you're out in the heat and you need a lot of liquid, or you're doing a super long distance. Yes, you need these. But if you're running a little road 5K, I better not see you wearing one of these or I'm going to make fun of you. So,
Yeah, okay, I agree. I feel like it is a want for shorter distances. I feel like when you wear them, it makes you feel cool, like you're like a legit runner,
I
you
feel
know?
like when I was first a runner, it did, but now I'll show up to an ultra marathon now, like a 50K, and I won't even wear them.
Wear them, yeah.
Like,
Because you,
well, it depends on the race. Like, if the
yeah,
aid station is like every like few miles and I could restock, resupply, then I might just carry a handheld. But if it's, a big ultra distance to where I'm going to be out there for many, many hours, maybe the aid stations are farther apart, I'm gonna throw it on.
yeah,
So,
yeah. And we do want to clarify, so they are great options if you can hold a water bottle. And so it's a great option if you don't want to hold a water bottle. It's also a great option if you want to store like a granola bar or a gel
yeah,
and they
that's what I
can
like. I
store.
like throwing Cliff Bars or
Yes.
applesauce packets in there, whatever.
Um, but yeah. So,
And
okay.
I don't think it's normal for a road runner to wear.
No, I don't think so either. I don't remember seeing at like big road marathons a ton of people wearing the vests
I don't.
like
I don't
trail
think.
runners
I
do.
think if you're running a road race, I don't think you should unless it's like a ultra
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Okay, so the next is number two, and it's trail running shoes. And I want to classify and clarify that it's trail running shoes. Okay?
Trail running
Trail
shoes,
running
not
shoes.
hiking boots, not road running shoes.
No, and if you're a new runner, there is a difference between road running shoes and trail running shoes.
Yeah,
Road running shoes, they don't have little grippies on the bottom of them. They usually are a little more cushioned because the road is harder surfaced. Trail running shoes, they're kind of like a mini version of cleats. At least that's when I first saw them, what I thought of. They have little grippies on the bottom of
yeah.
them. They're more durable. They're kind of more stiffer too, in my opinion, than road running shoes. And personally, I feel like trail running shoes is a want. I don't feel like they're necessary for running a race.
You're about to get roasted by like all the ultra marathon runners. Literally at the Tech Soma Challenge race, it's a trail race.
I ran in
Well,
road shoes
no.
at that race.
You don't let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. If the trail is dry, you can wear road shoes. But I went out in road shoes to go pick up course markings after the day after it rained, and I slipped and almost busted my butt like 5 times because I had no grip on my shoes.
See, that's the thing. I guess we need to classify a need versus a want. You don't need them in order to run the race. I mean, if you want to run it more
No.
successfully, then you would need them, but I feel like you can still accomplish and finish the race even
Okay.
with road running shoes.
Technically, yes, you could finish a race with road
That's
running shoes.
that's the point
But
though.
if it's a race like the one I went to a trail race in Oklahoma, and the entire course was 6 to 12 inches of mud the whole time. And if you wore road shoes in that, there was no way you were going to finish that race.
Okay,
I had straw shoes.
shoot.
Literally, it was 30 miles. I ran this race. It was called the Lake Murray
Oh yeah, I remember
50K,
that.
and it
Yeah.
rained for 30 miles. It rained all day, and the mud was like 6 to 12 inches the entire time.
Yeah.
And even with trail shoes, I still slipped a little bit. But
Yeah.
if I wore road shoes in that, there was no way I'd be able to finish that because I would have fell every step I took.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay, fine. And
Yeah.
that's extreme conditions, but typically for a race, you don't need,
If it's dry.
it's not a need. Yeah. So I do want to say that the most important thing when you're looking for a shoe is to find a shoe that feels good for your feet. There's different common running shoe brands, and we're going to list some. So Briston runs in Ultras.
Ultra.
Ultras.
ALTRA.
ALTRA. Yes, there's Hoka's, and I will say, like, I run in Hoka's. I've ran in Asics before. They're great too. There's Brooks, which is a common one, and you can actually go to their website, and usually they will list and clarify what the shoe is called. So if whether it's a road running shoe, a walking shoe, or a trail running shoe, and you just need to find a shoe that works for you.
Yep.
Don't, you know,
All right. I don't want all the experienced people to click off the
sorry, sorry,
podcast.
sorry. Okay,
All
number
right. Hey, you
three.
experienced folks. Y'all staying for this. Y'all are gonna like this one.
Okay, number three.
Uh, I don't know if I can say it without laughing.
Well, okay, I agree.
Running armbands.
So you know what that is?
Yes, it's those little things that you put on your arm that you put your phone in
Yeah.
that connects to your headphones, and you connect your headphones to it. Okay, listen. I don't remember the last time I've seen someone wear those. If you wear them, like I'm not making fun of you or anything, like that's cool. It's just personally running armbands, I feel like that's like a not a super popular item people wear. Like I feel like when you wear running armbands, it's just not super popular now. I feel like now there's people out there that have been running for like 40 years, and that's all they wear.
Is their
And
armband.
they're armbands,
Yeah.
man.
But the
But
question is it a need, a want, or
oh yeah,
unnecessary?
that's the question.
I feel like it's unnecessary. Like you can hold your phone,
I actually
you
hold my phone when I run.
yeah, you can have a fanny pack. Like
Yeah,
I feel like armbands
I forgot
just
we were doing need, want, or necessary. I thought we were like talking about.
no,
Okay,
we're doing
hydration vest is a need depending on what you're doing. Trail running shoes is a need depending on the conditions. Running armbands is just,
it's just unnecessary.
yeah, it
I
is
think it's
unnecessary.
unnecessary. Yeah. Okay. A headlamp.
Okay, I should have looked better at these topics because headlamps obviously are absolutely necessary if you're running at night. But if you're running during the day, I think it's kind of unnecessary to wear a headlamp while you're running during the day.
Yeah, true. But like,
Like if
what?
it's 12 o'clock in Texas and the sun's out and blue skies,
Yeah.
like what I'm just gonna you know what? I'm just gonna throw a headlamp on. Just why not? You know? Now there's been times to where like I've went on a Sunday morning run and I got out before the sun rose and I have my headlamp on, and then I'll be running for 2 or 3 hours, and the next thing you know, it's like the sun's been up for 2 hours, and I still have my headlamp on and on my head.
Yes. I think it's important though. Make sure you charge your headlamp because I did our Texoma challenge race and number one, my phone died. So always take your phone in case your headlamp dies. But my phone died on the course. It was starting to get dark, Briston, and the headlamp you gave me was not fully charged. It was the most dimmest
It
light.
was battery.
It was okay, well, whatever it was so dim.
And
I
I
was
just
so
put and
scared I was gonna trip
I
and
think I just put
fall.
new batteries in that.
Well, I couldn't figure out how to brighten it up. It was pretty scary. Okay,
Next up,
next
running
up,
watch.
running watch.
All right, running watches. All right, this is
Is it
kind
a
of
need, a want, or
all
unnecessary?
right. This is okay. Running watches. Is it need? An absolute need? Is it a want or is it unnecessary? Um, it's not unnecessary because, well, I guess it kind of is.
No,
Well,
so
okay, listen, back in the day before running watches were invented, that you had really good runners like Steve Prefontaine, who ran for Oregon, the fast miler guy. There's a movie on him. Had a poster of him in high school on my wall. Anyways, Steve Prefontaine in the movie, they didn't have running watches back then, so they ran based on time, and they would use their cars. They would drive around routes in their cars to see how far a distance was.
oh, that's smart. That's creative.
Or they would use signs that say how many miles to the
Yeah,
next town. They
yeah.
would use those signs to know how many miles they're
That's
in.
cool. That is cool.
So
That's
I would say
retro.
I would say technically running watches are unnecessary. Or no, no, they're not. I mean, you don't need them to train or to race, so you don't absolutely need them. So I would say they're unnecessary.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna say it's more so a want. I went many years, a couple years without a running watch because I had an Apple Watch and then it went kaput. And so I just used Strava. You can actually, if you download Strava, Strava's like the social media for and this is non-sponsored by the way, but they're the social media. Oh, maybe Anyways, they're the social media for runners, and you can track your running on there. It's not the most accurate. It's not going to track your heart rate. It's not going to track your calories, and it's not going to track your steps, but it does track your distance. And I used that for a few years before I got the Coros.
Honestly, the best runs I've ever done have been without a watch.
Yeah,
When I just run for a time and like I don't know how far I went or how fast I went or what my heart rate was. To me, those are the best runs.
yeah. I think it depends on the person. So some great running watch brands are Coros. That's what we have.
Yeah,
The
I
best for
finally
life.
I finally won Carly over from Garmin to Koros.
Garmin, but a lot of
No,
our teammates
I
did.
thought you had a Garmin before
No,
Koros.
I had an Apple Watch.
Oh, Apple. And then she was thinking about getting a running watch, and I convinced her to get a Koros, even though she was all about getting a Garmin.
Yeah, because I had a lot of teammates in college
And
who had
then
Garmin.
I said, check the stats. Koros is better, and she did, and she ended up getting a Koros.
Yes.
No, it's because no, no, no.
No, it's because
Her favorite
Abby Murphy,
her favorite running.
who's now Abby Luckett, got a Coros. And then there was another girl that I thought it was Garmin, and I texted her about it. It was a
See,
Coros.
all of her favorite running females on the internet have Koroses, so that's why she got it.
Yeah.
So it took somebody else to convince her.
But Coroses are great. Long battery life, guys. So long
Oh
battery life.
yeah. Like I don't have to charge mine for
Like a week.
2 weeks.
Yeah. There's also Garmin, which is great too. A lot of people have Garmin. There is an Apple Watch, and I will say if you're a lower distance runner, like you do 5Ks, 10Ks, an Apple Watch is gonna suffice. But I remember in college, we would do like 10-mile runs, and my Apple Watch, at least I had like a Series 2, so it was a earlier version one, but it would go way down. I had to, sometimes it would die. It just was not it. And so if you're a lower mileage person, an Apple Watch is fine. But if you're a higher mileage person, you probably want to get like a
All right. I don't know what this next one is. I've never
okay,
heard of
well,
this.
bifocal
I've
sunglasses.
never heard of that. I don't know what does bifocal mean?
Bifocals are like they're like the sunglasses. You've seen it. You have a pair, babe. They're prescription. They're your sunglasses they're like polarized.
Sunglasses.
They're sunglasses, but they're polarized. So they're like cheap
Polarized
cheap
sunglasses. I think
sunglasses.
bifocals are those things old people wear to where like the
Oh,
top.
I think you're right. I wrote it down. I wrote it down.
I
Okay.
think bifocals are where there's a split in the glass and the top part's for far away and the bottom part's for reading.
Okay. Polarized sunglasses. That's what I meant. They're the sunglasses that are made for out in the sun.
Hmm.
Whereas like cheap sunglasses, they only put the black tint on it, but it's not like polarized.
Well, they are. They can be polarized with a black tip.
No, but what I'm saying is we're talking about polarized
Well,
sunglasses.
this is bifocal on here. So
Polarized. Polarized
So you
sunglasses.
tell the world how old you are.
Is it a need? I'm 26. Is it
Okay.
a need, a want, or unnecessary?
Alright. I went forever without wearing them while running, and so I think it's unnecessary. It's I mean you don't need them at all. So,
Okay. Um, yeah, I think that they're a want.
and
I
I
think it's super beneficial whenever it's sunny outside because you're not having to squint. But I will say there's a lot of influencers. I don't know for guys, but for girl running influencers on social media, like all their pictures have polarized sunglasses.
bifocal
Or
class
no,
sunglasses.
stop. They have the big polarized sunglasses, and I hopped on that bandwagon because I saw all these girl running influencers have them. So I was like, they look cool, and they make them pink now. So I got a pink and
Uh,
purple pair.
so now you know running influencer promotions work because Carly bought glasses and a chorus
You know what?
and a
And
chorus watch.
shoes. If they advertise shoes,
Carly bought sunglasses and a chorus watch because of influencers.
yes,
So you influencers out there,
you're.
no, the brand's sponsoring the influencers.
Oh,
See,
y'all are doing good.
it works.
Yeah, it does work. They know it works, otherwise they wouldn't be doing it.
It's true.
Okay, pepper spray.
Um, honestly, if you ever run out in the boonies like I have in Texas, I think carrying some sort of like repellent or defense mechanism is great. And obviously there's two ways that we go about this. As a dude who's ran on some crazy back county roads in the middle of nowhere in Texas, there's nothing but dogs out, and they would just try to destroy you.
Yeah.
And so it's really great to have like a bear spray or yeah,
Yeah, because it goes
some
far.
type of spray.
Yeah.
Or
Is it a need?
I've
And
even carried like a knife on me, like if it's a life-threatening situation. Like
yeah.
if I didn't have spray, like in high school when I'd go run, I'd carry a knife on me, in case a dog like started mauling me or something crazy. But I think I've ran with spray before too out in the country, um, to repel dogs. And obviously for women, it's
Yeah.
a safety thing
Yes.
running by yourself. I don't think you run with it.
No, I don't, but we live in a small town, and so I think if you're in the city, like I do think crime's higher in the city. Um, yeah, I think you need to run a pepper
I
spray.
think it's a need.
But
Well,
also,
yeah.
like I'm not the type to just go out and just go on a random run and not know where I'm going. Like I am gonna know the route that I'm going on. So if you're a random spontaneous runner, yeah, you should probably have pepper spray because what if you encounter something, you know?
I hate running on Texas backcountry roads. I love it whenever it's just beautiful and nobody's out there and the sun's setting. But I do not like it when there's just dogs and I'm always having to worry about dang dogs. I mean, just roaming the country. And I understand, it's country. There might be a truck pass by once every hour, so people just let the dogs run. But there's also this legal side where it's like, well, it's a public road and people should be able to access public roads with their own 2 feet. But there's probably been no one run through that road in 10 years.
Yeah.
So the owners don't think anything of it.
So
So
I think it's a need. I think pepper spray is a need.
dogs, we should do a whole episode on running on like running dog, like dogs and running.
Okay, so a collapsible water bottle.
Collapsible water bottle. Why does it have to be collapsible? Can it just be a water bottle?
Oh, I wanted to
Okay,
specify
collapsible water bottles
a want.
are a want because when you show up to an aid station, they're great for just grabbing a quick drink of something. Um,
They don't
and
take up much space
yeah,
because they're collapsible.
they fold up super tight and nice. But I've ran races without them.
Yeah.
But they are nice. They are convenient. So,
Yes. Okay, an extra pair of socks.
um, depends on the type of event you're doing. Um,
I think
but
it also depends on the weather because if it's like raining and the weather's terrible, you're gonna want to change your socks if they're sopping wet after you
well,
run.
yeah, I think that's honestly a need when you get to longer distances, like super long distances.
Yeah.
Because if your feet get wet, you don't change your socks, it can, like,
Blisters.
well, no, not just that, but it can cause there's a word term for it, but basically it's like it makes wrinkles in your feet. And if they stay there long enough and your feet stay soggy long enough, the skin will basically just like fall off or rub off.
Yeah.
Um, and it can cause like serious injury to your feet and even permanent injury. So if you're doing a super long distance, even if it's dry, your sweat can make that happen.
Yeah.
Or if there's creek crossings or whatever. But yeah, it's definitely a need if you're doing a super long distance. Now, if you're doing a homegrown 5K, local 5K, um, yeah, I don't think at mile 1.62 you need to change your socks, you know.
Yeah.
But you might want to change them on the way back home. So that way, like if you
Your
drove,
feet don't stink. And that's for all the people in the car with you. So that way, when you get in the
well,
car, your feet
it
don't
just
stink.
sucks driving with wet socks on your feet.
Yeah, it does.
It's not fun.
Okay, last thing is a phone. Is it a
Phone.
need, a want, or is it unnecessary when you're running?
Okay, so the thing with phones is if I go run without my phone, I like it because I feel like I'm getting away and I'm free. But at the same time, like if something bad happened,
Yeah.
you would need your phone.
Yeah. Or if you got lost.
Yeah, either lost or serious. I'm always thinking serious injury. Like if there was a car hit or something crazy happened and I needed to
Yeah.
call for help. That's why I carry my phone with
Yeah.
me. I very rarely ever go run without a phone just because it's a safety thing.
Yeah,
So
and then also we've experienced in races where like 50Kers or 100Kers, all night races, they go out and it's nice to have their phone because if something happens, they're running long distances,
yeah, there's
they
some
might be running all night and like hallucination and when you get up to those distances, like, it can be some crazy stuff that happens.
we
So,
do require phones for certain distances and courses and races we do. Like it's required that you have a phone on you
yeah.
in case someone steals a course sign or someone gets injured. You need to have your phone on you to contact us. Um, but yeah, so I would say phones are a need for sure. Now, if this was 1980s, um, a runner would probably be saying no to all these things that they're not a need, and they would probably be like the only thing you need are shoes on your feet.
Yeah.
But with living in the 21st century, 2025 in America, with a crazy world we do live in, there's some things here that you do need that just for like safety reasons, and so
Yeah, I don't feel like we should apologize for what has adapted and evolved over time, you know?
yeah.
All right. So, something fun that we're doing
Let
is
me see.
is if you have a question
Okay.
about running, about nutrition, training, um, gear, shoes, anything like that. Or if you want to share an accomplishment, maybe you ran your first 50K or your first marathon. Or if you have a funny running story like a cow chased you on a course and it made you speed up and run faster. I don't know. Um, email us. Email us at texasoutlawnrunning@gmail.com and your question or story just might be shared on our show.
Yep. Do that. Um, good deal.
The last thing we want to say is that if you're enjoying us, enjoying the episodes, be sure to subscribe.
Yeah, follow the show and something that really helps us or is gonna help us if you really want to help us out. If you can not only rate this episode but share it, like share it with a few people that you're like, hey, you should check this out. This is, gonna be a good show or is a good show. Share
It's
it.
helpful for new, people that they
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, or if you got a new runner, share it with them. And it really helps boost us in the algorithms. And if you want to support us and you listen to this, that's like the best way to do it is like to rate and then share it with somebody.
Yeah.
Um,
And we're going to be coming out with more content soon. So we're excited.
yeah. Yeah, Carly's been the mastermind behind this and the ideas and the topics that we're doing. And so
So if you
um,
hate it, let me know. And if you love it, let me know.
yeah, let her know. And then she'll be complaining to me about an email she got from somebody.
Say that.
Yeah, like so and so
No.
said that they didn't like
Listen,
this.
listen. We will.
You're probably gonna get complaints that you said that trail shoes aren't necessary. I mean, that's probably gonna be the biggest complaint. that you get.
Listen, I am a natural road runner, so it's okay. I will take the criticism. I just married a trail runner, so.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I, and for context, I don't know how often in the past you have been on our episodes, but Carly is a former collegiate cross country runner. She was like really, really good.
Thanks, babe.
She was like top in conference. We ran at college at a Division II college, and she ran like an 18-minute 5K, right? 18 something minutes. NCAA Woman of the Year nominee over here.
Honorary.
Honorary top 10 in the nation, right?
Top 30.
Top 30 in the nation. So, anyways, Carly knows about running. Like she ran college cross country, a little bit of high school, and so she knows what's up. And then she married a guy who is all about running. So there you go.
Thanks,
So
babe.
don't take any credit away from her except when she says trail running shoes aren't necessary.
I just don't know about trail running that much.
Okay, that's fair. You just did a trail race like last weekend,
Yeah,
like 4 days ago.
yeah, I did.
And she did a trail half marathon like 2 years ago.
Yeah. But we can do a whole episode about this, but I just like road running better.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, you do you. Um, all right, guys. Well, we hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day, run, night, whatever your time zone is, or whatever you're doing, or great drive to work, great drive back to work. I don't know. Great job, or great time loading boxes at Home Depot.
Running, maybe listen to this while they're
I don't
running.
know what you're doing. Anyways, we'll see y'all in the next episode of the Texas Outlaw Running Talk Show. See you next week.